So if number one is the mental stress load that comes on you, or the mental side of owning your own small company, then most of the other four really are just things that build up to be that number one challenge, right? That you should know about. So first and foremost is the mental stress load. Second is that a lot of guys don't really fully understand when they get started just how deep pocketed you might have to be to start a small tree service company. And then with the money factor, you have to balance it well if you want to be looked upon professionally and be profitable at the same time. So things that can kind of start adding up without you realizing it are all the, like, let's say smaller tools that we use. It's not that they're less important. In fact, some of these are life-saving tools, but they're just not the high-dollar items, right? So like pulleys, carabiners, if you're a climber, chains, bar oil, mix oil, gas. Man, the amount of fuel you'll buy just for your truck and your chipper, and if you're running a mini skid, that, or like I have a four-wheeler that I use for dragging, so I'm putting gas. You've got your saws to maintenance if you do it yourself, or even if you don't, there's an expense there. You've got to send it out. Carry the magnetic trailer lights in case my wiring goes out unexpectedly. And that's like $50 for a pair. I think Harbor Freight has them for like $25 or something. But there's just these little things, files, scrunches, your toolkit for the general stuff on the truck that's like maybe $80 or $100 or $200. And then you've got like the endless kinds of rope that you carry, and then bull rope for rigging, and it all just starts to add up. It's amazing how much money I spend in like nitpicky little tool stuff that's only $25 or $20 a pop, but you do $20 a pop times 100 and it starts to get expensive, really quick. And then of course you've got the moderately priced items like your all your friction devices and the saws themselves. Depending on the saw, some aren't moderately priced, some are just plain out expensive. You've got, the constant wear items that you're using that have to be maintained and kept up to date as well. Once again, your bridges on your saddles aren't that expensive, but they are what they are. You've got shirts and clothing that you have to maintain because eventually you're going to tear up your stuff. And if you've listened to me for any period of time, you'll know that I really take pride in the clothing I wear. Not because I'm trying to like be all fancy and stuff, but it's a marked, noticeable difference in the industry for the client. Like, one of the biggest things I get all the time is I was expecting somebody with a ratty shirt on and who just looked like they came out of a bar. Why that's a standard in the industry, I'll never know. But it is. And so when you dress professionally, whether on the job, so like wearing chainsaw pants, chaps, like I have now a climber's jacket, a Solidor jacket. Even before then I wore like an Eisenhower jacket from Dickies. So I always tried to be professional and of course try to look clean and whatever, and it makes a big difference. But that stuff starts to add up. You go through a lot of just nitpicky things that can like totally sink money, just drop it out of your pocket into your business really, really quickly. So definitely all the nitpicky little things, permits, like registration can be $50 for the year. And then if you're in certain cities, you have to get a permit for tree removals and you have to build that into every job. And there's a bunch of stuff that can just start to, come up. Your DOT numbers and tags and things like that. just oil changes and maintenance like that, brake pads, and it just starts to really like get heavy sometimes. So yeah, number two, I think that I didn't expect was all the nitpicky stuff that would just kind of chip away at the debt, or chip into the debt pile of my business, right? So that was a landscape that I was trying to navigate. A friend of mine once told me, oh, all you need is a chainsaw and a pickup truck and you've got a tree service. Well, I knew that wasn't quite the case to begin with, but I didn't really understand to what extent. And that's definitely part of the equation for sure. So keep that in mind, you know, and by minimal I mean up to $100 is what I consider minimal, and that's because so many things in this industry are over $100 up to $500, and then above $500 I think are just expensive. And then there's the extremely expensive, which is the equipment that's expensive. So those aren't few and far between either. I mean, just had repairs done on my chipper and maintenance, and it cost me like $700 to do it all. So yeah, it's, you know, it's part of what you have to deal with, and I think you should know that before you get into it.